The safety of our children on their way to school is once again under the spotlight. That's after a horrific minibus taxi crash in KwaZulu-Natal. At least 20 learners were seriously injured when their vehicle plunged off a bridge on Monday morning. This tragic accident has prompted a strong reaction from the South African Scholar Transporters Association, which is calling on the government to take immediate action and enforce stricter regulations on the scholar transport sector. Joining us now this morning is Ntokozo Khumalo, the president of the South African Scholar Transporters Association. Ntokozo, thank you so much for joining us here on AM Report. Appreciate your time this morning. You've also said that scholar transport drivers aren't properly trained or licensed. Why is this the case, do you think? Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir, and good morning to your viewers this morning. The reason that we say this is because this industry alone is not regulated. If you could say that this industry is very, very huge, and it consists of very delicate packages that we carry from home to school. So it's impossible that we are neglected as an industry, because as I've said, this industry is huge in such a way that all over South Africa, there is a scholar transporter. Now, if a person has money and buys a car or a minibus taxi, he can hire anybody. There are no regulation to how many regulations and what needs to be done so that driver can be hired, and that person who hires that driver is not concerned whether he is licensed or not licensed. What his main concern is that he's making money off that driver. Now, what we're calling for is that the government should regulate this sector, because this is an existing sector and it's a very, very huge sector. As I've said, you've got a very delicate package. These children are the future presidents, are the future doctors, are the future teachers and police officers. So now it's impossible that this sector is not regulated.
You know, I'm just trying to read the Government Gazette for the 23rd of October, 2015. This over here already details the National Learner Transport Policy. Why has this not been implemented, do you think? Is it just a lack of enforcement, a lack of understanding, a lack of the ability to know what it actually means? Was nobody told about it? I mean, if the policy exists, why has it not been put forward, do you think?
Yes, that's the very main concern. That's why we're saying that the government should recognize Scholar Transporters Association. In that way, we will have board meetings. We will be part and parcel of the stakeholders, where we can speak about these concerns and get to learn all these regulations and all these acts so we can implement them. Now, it's impossible to implement something that's not even been presented to us. It's not presented to us. Now, that's why we've had this association, so it could be an umbrella to all the scholar transporters in South Africa, not just in KZN, but in South Africa, so that when we have meetings with stakeholders, because we're taking kids to school. Now, Department of Education also should be there. Department of Transport also should be in those committees or in those meetings, so that we can all be on the same page. We are not on the same page. We are kept in the dark. We are not recognized.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
And it's certainly hurting everybody, including these school children who unfortunately have to suffer at the hands of it, seeing so many of them perish and their lives gone to waste because of this, though. Should there be some kind of oversight body that looks into this on a daily basis almost? Security checks or safety checks being done on these vehicles that are transporting vehicles, the kind of licensing that they receive, as well as who the driver is and whether they even have what is a PDP, I believe, as well, which is the ability to transport human lives.
Yes, it should. You see, what the solution is, we are coming with as a Scholar Transporters Association, is that there is a scrapping system that's been implemented only on the mainstreams. And that scrapping system is scrapping a Toyota Hi-Ace minibus, which those buses, the one that you're just reflecting right now, these are the ones that have been phased out by the Department of Transport. And these cars are being scrapped and they are compensated with a certain amount of money, which they buy safety vehicles. Now, in our sector, that is not implemented. This is the solution. If we scrap these cars, because if you notice, all these accidents that happened here in KZN are the Toyota high-ace minibuses, which are phased out. So, which means these cars are being let down to our sector, and that's why they're causing so many accidents. Now, if we were in the scrapping system, these minibuses would be scrapped, and then they will be compensated. So it will be easy for us to go back to Toyota and buy a safety vehicle, a safety regulated vehicle. Now that's the solution, is that we as scholar transporters should be in this system.
Really should. Are there emergency plans? Like, are there proper emergency plans, insurance, etc., for a case like this, whether it be third party or anybody else? Because if something was to happen in a case like this, is there a way for people to even be claiming? And I mean, I'm talking about the loss of life here, and you can't reclaim that, but in other instances too.
Yes, that's what we're saying, that we've been neglected. And this came out to show when the COVID-19 pandemic arrived in 2020. That's where we realized that we've been neglected for so long. Even at that time, we weren't given a relief fund, whereas all the transport sectors were given a relief fund. And we were the first to close shop. We closed shop on the 23rd of March when the pandemic started. And we were the last to open when the pandemic ended. So it gave us that idea that the government is neglecting us. Having said that, from those years till today, we've been writing letters. At that time, the Minister of Transport was Mr. Fikile Mbalula, and we've been neglected from the Department of Education, from the Department of Transport, and even the President himself. We've written numerous letters to the President saying, no, we are neglected and we are all alone. And as much as we are all alone, all of these implementations, talking about your safety, talking about your emergency services, talking about your security, and all of those are on the line. That's why we've been asking for the government to accept us, and let's lay down regulations that will benefit the both of us.
Yeah, just in 10 seconds, is there a place where people can report unsafe driving and vehicles that they can't trust?
Yes, there is a place. Right now, we are under the mainstream, which is Santaco. Now, that is where anybody or everybody should complain or call upon on.
Yeah.
But what we're saying right now as an association is that we need to all sit down, all the players need to sit down together with our mainstream, together with the Department of Transport and the Department of Education, so we can have a solemnly number that will be directed to attending those concerns.